Hello, world. Today we will be discussing the hit phenomenon graphic novel Lore Olympus, created by Rachel Smith. I think it's Smith. There's a Y in there, so it's spelled kind of fun.
Some people do it Smythe, but it is Smith. I would say
Smythe.
Smith. Yeah.
Oh.
Smith.
Oh, I should have listened to an interview with her. Anyway, Lore Olympus, a retelling of Hades and Persephone. It started out on Webtoon and is now a published series. And so far, every single book of the series, all 10 books, has been at the top. I think 10 have been published. It might have been 9. Anyway, have topped the New York Times bestselling list. Hello, welcome to Ink in the Eyes. I'm Ace. This is Charles.
Hello.
Would you like to...
Go on.
I don't want to just keep talking. What do you
Please
know
do keep on
about Lore Olympus?
What is my previous knowledge of Lore Olympus? Very little. I know we've discussed it before.
That's interesting because I bring it up constantly.
Yeah.
Anytime we talk about comics.
You have talked about it a lot. And I think it was even a comp for AOC.
It was. Which, yeah.
I know it was, but I just wanted to say...
I wasn't trying to rip it off, but I recognize
No. But
it is a Greek retelling. Ours is a Greek themed retelling.
Loose. But yeah.
Loose, fair.
I'm happy. I'm excited to learn a lot more about it because there's a lot of questions that I've probably asked you before, but I've forgotten now.
Oh, good. That you have something to talk about.
Yeah.
Not good that you forget about what
everything you say.
Okay, so this, as I said previously, started out on Webtoon. According to Wikipedia, she started writing it on Tumblr in 2017.
Wow, old school.
And then relaunched it on Webtoon Canvas in 2018. And then the first book, which I have in front of me, was published in 2021 by Del Rey Books, which is an imprint of Penguin. Questions, comments, concerns?
First question off the bat. So she was doing it for 3 years before it came out.
Yes. So, oh my God. On Webtoon, there's over 200 episodes. There's a lot.
Right. And does she...
And book one, I think I read, is 1 to 25. Episodes 1 to 25.
Jeez. So,
Webtoon.
yeah, there's a lot of...
I think at this point in time, they said there was going to be 12 books.
Right.
The most recent was volume 9, and that came out of October this year.
Okay. Nice. That's pretty impressive. And so... Did she have any writing apart from obviously doing it from Tumblr to that? Had she written anything before this, or was this her first entree?
Yes, actually. But I think she started. So she was a graphic designer, but then was working in marketing. And it says in 2016 she started with the Dr. Foxglove show, which was a sequel to the Dr. Pepper show. But that was abandoned after 2 chapters.
You'll have to explain both of those things.
I don't know either of them, because they didn't last long.
Okay.
One was discontinued after 2 chapters, and so Lore Olympus was really the one that.
That's her breakthrough. Yeah.
Yeah, she broke through. It was always like top of the Webtoon most recommended, most liked. It won best. It won a Webtoon. No, Goodreads Choice Award. It won in 2021. It won a Hugo Award.
Jesus Christ.
Did it? No, it was nominated for a Hugo Award, won 2 Eisner Awards.
Wow.
And a Harvey Award. It's good. Like, it's a well thought out story. So the Olympus, the gods, which is what the majority of the story is about, is modernized. Like, they have cell phones and stuff. But then the human world is essentially ancient Greek still. Ancient Greece, rather. They're not in the human world a whole lot, and when they are, a lot of times it's because she was raised by her mother Demeter in the human world, And this kind of retelling, kind of modernization starts where she has gotten a scholarship to go to college on Olympus, but she grew up with like, oh my God, what are they? The nymphs. Nymphs?
Ah, cool.
Naiads?
Yeah.
On Earth. And so she's making her debut in Olympus. Yes, enter drama of the gods. I think it's really beautiful, the illustrations. There is a little bit of controversy of people saying when she started to get big, the illustrations got worse, which I don't think so.
Do you not think so at all, or do you think there's truth but they're a bit harsh? Or
So it did
can you tell
change.
The difference? Oh, okay.
And there's one main article, and she showed examples of mix-ups, and the shading and stuff. Like there, it's shading, and you can tell that it abruptly was cut off. And now this person was attributing it to, apparently in an interview, the author was saying her assistants use a mix of Clip Studio and Procreate. And so this opinion article was saying, you can't do that. Which, to be fair, yes, you should be working in the same program.
In the same program, yeah. These things are going to happen. That's quite a solvable problem. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, pick one and stick to it. And
then
like,
her color palette's changed. Oh, sorry.
No. You were saying your color palette's changed.
Yeah, her color palette's changed. They became bolder colors, and it seems to be like there's a mix. Some people like it, some people don't.
Oh, okay.
I think the first season to the second season, you can tell the author's drawing skills, I would say, improved a lot and becomes more confident.
So that's after 20...
She was very good in the beginning, but after...
5 episodes that it will be.
No more.
Because
first season is several books. I only have the first book, so I...
Oh, okay, so each book isn't a season.
Correct.
Okay, so there's...
So the seasons where she did a season and then I think took a break on Webtoon. And then was the next season.
Got you. But they have no correlation to the book, really. Like,
the season ends off on a big cliffhanger that I suspect whichever book...
Using the book.
Yeah, it was ended off there. Yeah, I will say because I was reading it live, like as they were being uploaded, and it at times it seemed a little bit rushed because there are some panels that are just gorgeous and you want to sit there and you want to look at it. And because I was trying to learn digital art too, you want to try and figure out what kind of techniques and stuff she used. But then there were other panels that did look a bit more rushed. Still amazing, like way better than anything I could do, but...
And was this pre as having assistants? Do you think this was just like some weeks you're just not feeling it and you're just like, fuck it, it needs to go out? Like,
this is all guesswork, but I think it was when she did have assistants. It was a huge deal on Webtoon, and she was starting to publish the books, and so she had to work on like reformatting the books. Each book has a short story that's exclusive to the print version, and then like. Barnes & Noble has an exclusive cover. I think all the books, Illumi Crate has exclusive covers. And so I think it got really big.
Too big, too quick, yeah. And she still illustrates, she is still the main illustrator and story writer?
Well, I know she has a colorist, and she has assistants, and she's never been, from what I can tell, outlined her... entire process. So like some of it is guesswork. She does always at the end of each episode on the Webtoon, she would acknowledge the assistants who did coloring and stuff. But I suspect all the line art is still hers. And I think she has a letterer too, as we've previously discussed.
Yeah, always got a letterer.
Have you've seen it before?
I have seen it, yes, but I would just, do you know what it reminded me of now? Have you ever seen the episode with Mr. Baddy McBadson? I mean, it could be anything. The episode of The Simpsons with Neil Gaiman, where like
I don't think I have. No.
Oh, they made fun of the publishing industry by saying like there's like this person who has this angelic life of being like, oh, I'm a writer and I'm just like the face of it, basically. But
were they saying this about Neil Gaiman?
No. They were about saying this about everybody.
Okay.
There's the state of publishing now is that there's a face of it, and then there's like tons of like college graduates just churning this shit out, basically. But all for this young person, and I'm absolutely not saying that that's what Laura. But it's just the way you said, "Oh, her assistant." So I was like, "Oh, that made me laugh.
Oh,
Is
no,
that
no, yeah, that's not
the
what I
book job?"
meant. Because even if you look at professionally, traditionally made comics, there is a main artist, and then there's a colorist and a letterer. And I would say the main artist probably got most of the credit
Yeah, of course.
and the
Yeah,
name on the cover and stuff. And to be fair, it is still her. I mean, she was doing the script. She did a bunch of research. She cited like a bunch of primary sources of like getting the myths.
wow. So it is impressive, an
like-
impressive amount of work.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And to be fair, like a lot of the myths or when she'd introduce a new character that I wasn't familiar with, but you could tell it was very much a myth, I'd look it up, and she's modernized a bit because Olympus, again, they have cell phones and stuff. So she has changed it, but for the most part, a lot of the myths, she's done a decent job about being true to like, I don't even want to say the themes because a lot of the themes in Greek mythology is like abusing women, but
Yeah, they're pretty gnarly.
like the character and the story, she would tie realistic elements into it.
There's an interesting thing actually. It's a Stephen Fry thing. It's not. So it's not me being intelligent. It's him. It's me regurgitating. But he says that actually he prefers that view of the gods, like the Norse gods and the Greek gods. And if it was that now, he could see himself being religious because like the gods aren't supposed to be perfect. They're supposed to be human. They're supposed to be like capricious and evil and violent and like prone to jealousy because they're human. They're the parts of humanity. Like, do you know what I mean? We all have these within us, and we're all capable of being all of these things. They're just that, but immortal and more so. Like, they're that on steroids. And they're kind of used as stories to say, like, don't be violent because then this happened. Do you know what I mean? It's taken to the extremes. Whereas the Judeo-Christian, like, Abrahamic ones are just like, God's perfect, no further questions. And you're like, okay, what? Yeah. So, yeah, that's...
It humanizes them, which is
it humanizes the
contrary
gods,
to-
but also it's more useful as like as a method of like
Of
how to
storytelling.
live. Like a storytelling is like how to live, and like I think that's a lot more useful than that. So has she always stuck to this? As you were an early adopter, has she always stuck to this kind of pink and blue?
So I don't know about her other stories, but yes. So the characters, I don't know if you've seen any of them other than Hades and Persephone, but all of the gods are basically monochromatic. So
Right.
Persephone's always pink. She's always wearing pink. I think so. Her mother Demeter is green, and then her
Yeah.
hair is purple. And so you do get a little bit of variation, but yes, all of the characters are monochromatic, which I think, it was so long ago I first started it. I don't want to say I wasn't convinced of it, but I wouldn't have said I loved it. But I think by the end, it was quite a cool, unusual style almost. Because it's something I've seen before, but the level of detail, it's not the typical manga or
Yeah.
Disney styles you see.
Interesting.
You're not convinced?
No, I was thinking, is it? And I was trying to look at the notes to see like how many characters are there, because I was wondering whether she did it as a good way of like very quickly like switching scenes and characters and being like, okay, we're back in Persephone and Hades, they're pink and blue, I don't need to do like, because we've read a few comics and I won't do any spoilers because we're going to do episodes on them, but like they were monochromatic black and white, and it's very much like, oh, who are these people? Like, unless you're very different, like they're like you're drawing them very differently.
Yeah, the faces and stuff.
The faces are very hard sometimes to differentiate between the two, especially if you're, I know this is more fantasy, but if you're doing sci-fi you can get away with it, but if you're doing real humanistic stories it's very difficult. And I wondered whether she'd done that as like a very quick, because sometimes with Webtoon you literally can't go over the things again. Like an episode is so short that you just have to know, like, you have to place it instantly, more so than I think you
Yes.
do with graphic novels. Is that correct? Would you agree?
Yeah, I guess because it's uploaded weekly and it's slightly more difficult to flip back. It's not like turning a page. Yeah, I'm looking through the first couple episodes now, and she does introduce characters a little bit. Actually, I think she does it at a decent pace. And to be fair, it's characters like Persephone, Hades, Zeus, Artemis. So we've known them. Most people have
Yeah.
heard about Greek myth, so it's a little bit easier. But because I started reading it at like when I think maybe 100 episodes were uploaded, maybe a little less. So it was the first few I was going through quite quickly, but I would imagine it did help. I don't know if that's why she
Yeah.
did it, but it did help. And some of the characters like Zeus and Apollo and Artemis, they're all the same. They're all purple, different kind of shades and variations.
Yeah.
And there's some cool, I always think the symbolism of color is really interesting because you can use them for such a wide array of things.
Go on, unpick that more.
Unpick that more. So I don't know if she necessarily capitalizes on it. I've done so much talking, you gotta pull your own weight here.
You're the interesting one. You're hoisted by your own, like, you're a victim of your own success. Find you interesting, so you talk more. So carry on.
I think in general, when you think of films and using colors to represent innocence or love or like new growth, spring, there's a lot of symbolism you can do with it. I don't know if she necessarily used it as much as she could have, because a lot of her backgrounds are fairly vague.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, she keeps her backgrounds quite... Unless you're doing a scene, like when she first goes down into the underworld and you're doing kind of a scene. But even that, I would say her characters are a lot more striking than her scenery. And like in terms of objects, you know, if you wanted to show something associated with Persephone, you would make it pink. But like I said, I don't think she capitalized on that nearly as much as she could have. I just might not be as much in tune with it.
Right.
But
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm flipping through the book in front of me right now. But yeah, a lot of times it's the characters, which keeps the characters in focus, and it's a very character-based story.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at her backgrounds now. They still work, and they do make the characters very impactful, but yeah, they're not as detailed as...
And they place you, like you can always tell where you are, like the underworld is always very dark and blue. And
do you think that's down to speed, or do you think that's an artistic choice?
probably both, I would say.
Both,
I don't like doing backgrounds. Like when I was doing Art and Chaos, they took so long.
I'm looking at the art now. It does take too long. Yeah, you're right. It has a very... I mean, the art that I can see in front of me here on the computer screen, 1920s kind of Gatsby kind of vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that continued, or is it just so happens that what I'm looking at now?
I suspect it's just how Persephone...
It's Persephone and Hades. Both of them
and
look
Hades
very...
dress.
Yeah. Very Gatsby. Very...
I think that's just how the author liked dressing her.
Nice.
I don't think there's many, especially with them, Gatsby themes.
Okay. And
she does go into like heavier themes, mental health, sexual assault.
Oh god, yeah.
Which, to be fair, there's a lot of in Greek myths.
Yeah.
She does it fairly delicately and like respectfully, I would say. I have but one opinion. However, I would argue because it has won so many awards and been so popular, I'm not the only one who thinks this.
Yeah.
And to be fair, there has been in recent years a lot of love for Greek retellings.
Yes.
like Achilles and Circe, and Art of Chaos, and
Of course.
Just Chaos, the TV show on Netflix.
Yeah, it was good, that. I enjoyed that a lot.
What do you think of the monochromatic? Oh, I should say the humans, so not the gods. When you occasionally see humans, they are more normal human color and less monochromatic.
Normal human colour. Normal human, please. 1 second.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on the monochromatic?
So what's my thoughts on the monochromatic? I like it. I think had you have asked me a bit ago, I'd have probably said like it's not my market, or it's like I'm not its market as opposed to it's not my market. And I've probably been against the monochromatic, but I think having read, I don't know, recently, I think I've read a couple of things that it's much easier to read. Like the ease of reading is confusion is death. There's that old script. I heard it as like a script writing thing, as if your script is confusing, people will just put it down. And I've started to kind of get that in books a little bit. I think it was because I got the notes from an edit of a flash fiction I did, and they were a bit confused, and it's now triggered a reaction within me that I think, yeah, I like the monochromatic. I like being able to look at this page and be like, okay, I know who's here, I know who's where. I can lose myself in the story, and I don't have to be like, especially because I'm I know all these people because of Greek myths, but I'm shit with names a lot of the time. Even in works, I could be watching a thing and be like, what's that person's name again? Like, that's Harry Potter. But yeah, I'm terrible with that. Like, I'm good with the faces of it, but like terrible of that. So I think if it's an easy read, I'm in it more. Yeah, which I think that monochrome would. Also, I think because she has such, I was going to say negative spacey backgrounds, but like it's not even that. It's just very mood.
Sparse.
The background is a mood as opposed to a defined thing. I think it works really well for that. I think if you did quote unquote normal colours on top of that, it would just look like you couldn't be asked to do the background. Whereas looking at her work now, it looks like it's purposeful, and I'm sure it is purposeful. So it's good that she did do that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think saying the backgrounds are quite mood driven is a good way to put it.
So what did she use? Did she use Clip Art Studio, or
Yeah,
which one did
she used Clip Studio and a Wacom tablet.
Interesting. I like that.
Adobe Photoshop and a Wacom Cintac Pro drawing tablet. Oh, she's Photoshop.
What? No, she can't use Photoshop to do the whole thing, could she? I mean, she could. I don't know why I'm so surprised by that.
She used Photoshop. I watch a lot of illustrators on YouTube using Photoshop for digital art. You just have to do it on a computer, not a tablet.
Yeah.
But if she has a Wacom...
You'd imagine she was on there. Yeah. Wacom.
And if she's a graphic designer, I mean, she'd have...
then she probably has the package already, so yeah.
It has 5 million subscribers on Webtoon as of 2017.
As of 2017?
Yeah, so that a while ago. I'm sure it's more now.
So you said there's a short story that's solely in print. Is that kind of like, is that just an aside? Is that a B story, a C story, or is it a totally different, like...
It's different for every book, because I think some of them are about side characters, like little mini self-contained stories. However, the one I have, it's about... she said she wrote it as chapter 10, but then the editor had her change it because... Oh, it basically changed. It was just about Hades, but her editor said it would have been better because it was still quite early days if you did one that more developed, like, their relationship. And so that cut chapter was then put in this book. And so it's about, like, Hades and Hera, who are both main characters. It was just... Yeah. Cut out of the original narrative.
Side story that there is that, yeah.
But, you know, anyone reading this book is going to have a grasp on who they are. I do think some of them are on smaller side characters, but I suspect there are other cut chapters. It's a very long narrative. I think, so when you scroll on the computer, the panels are quite big. And so there's a lot of space to really enjoy the art and stuff. And I remember when I first got the book, there was a few panels that I don't want to say disappointed, but they're small. Because to be fair, it's a long story and there's a lot of stuff to get through. But some of the details get lost because they're so small. She does have full page spreads, but some of them are just, it's not because they're particularly beautifully done. Some of them are, but a lot of it is to fit the like a startling scene in the narrative. And so I think it shows how differently people format things for Webtoon versus print and publishers.
Versus print, yeah. So how many panels is it per page?
It changes a lot.
Okay, so it's not like average 5, it goes 4 to 6, or average 9, 10 to, it's like...
I suspect the layout of this took a lot of time because each page is very unique. To be fair, like, because it was done for Webtoon originally, a lot of the boxes are different sizes, shapes, aspect ratios, etc. Yeah, and so this one has 9 on it, but then this one has 3. Like right next to each other. There's no page numbers, which I'm just realizing.
So you need a bookmark if you're going to read it.
Yeah. I mean, there's chapter.
You know, can't always read to a chapter.
This one page, it's half the page. It's just kind of smoke and text. So startling moment and narratively makes sense. But there are some really beautiful panels that are then squished on the same page as like 7 other panels. And so, yeah. I don't know if that, like, it changes in the later books. I'd love to get them. It's just, there's going to be 12 books and, $20 a book. Unfortunately, I'm not independently wealthy. Working on it, but...
Working on it.
Working hard. Yeah. A delightful read.
Nice. So you would recommend?
Read it now? Would I recommend it? Absolutely.
I am going to read this, actually.
I would say it's probably my favorite graphic novel.
Oh.
I recognize you're not the audience.
No, but I can be.
Recognized or not.
Like,
listen. Don't make yourself suffer.
Well, no. I mean, if it's good and recommended, then I'll take it on board. I think that a good piece of art anybody can get involved with that. That's not a...
Okay, yeah. So Barnes & Noble it looks like they had an exclusive cover. Waterstones looks like it has a exclusive dust jacket. Oh, I wish I saw that. Because the American version, it's not a jacket. It just says Waterstones' website says exclusive edition with exclusive jacket.
Is it less dusty in the US?
Do you not call them dust jackets? No, that's what they're called.
I know. I was just saying. Is it less dusty in the US? It was a small joke.
I don't know. We live kind of near a quarry, and I think because of that, it's dustier here. 'Cause dust accumulates so quickly. That is my personal conspiracy theory for my neighborhood. But interesting. I would love to see those deals.
Yeah.
Which is probably kind of nerdy, and most people don't care. But I want to know how exclusive book covers are negotiated.
There's your research for the next one.
Yeah, maybe. Probably not. But this story's a lot happier than the last one I discussed. But I have a lot less notes for you. So in 2017, the Jim Henson production company said it was in development for an animation TV show.
That was going to
However,
be my next question, actually, or my question from earlier, but we were talking. However, go on.
I heard nothing else since then.
Because it's strange that like Disney haven't bought it or Netflix or somebody if it's so.
Well, so it said no streaming service, although I suppose both of them have production companies, but what I saw is just the production company had the rights and we're talking about developing it. There's a cookbook and an oracle deck and a coloring.
Wow, a cookbook?
Yeah.
Is it like Greek?
I don't know. It just
Inspired,
says the
or-
official Lore Olympus cookbook.
The official Lore Olympus cookbook. So there's knockoff ones as well. That amazing.
Yeah, traditional Greek cuisine. Organized by
fantastic.
season, each chapter offers a recipe for any time of day, whether you're hankering for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or a bright pink mocktail. And if you want to
Gorgeous.
party like an Olympian, there are 4 feasts at the end of each section to serve as inspiration for a themed party.
Amazing.
Okay, so this has Discover the Divinity of Persephone's Baklava.
Ooh. So it is Greek. So they've gone all in. That's cool. I like that. See, cocktails. Again, it goes with my like Gatsby. What's the phrase? What's the thing? And I'm going to decorate my house like this. So this is amazing that the word keeps on escaping me. Art Deco. Thank you.
Art Deco. I like Art Deco.
This is a very Art Deco themed, like the cocktails, the dress, the
Oh,
the
yes,
vibe.
actually, yes. I would agree. Because I think ages ago I read like a Q&A with the author and she said she really liked the kind of 20s fashion and that's why she dressed him like that. Because originally when you said Gatsby, they don't really have, I mean, he's the god of wealth, but it's not like
Yeah,
They
sorry,
really-
I'm not. I wasn't thinking storyline. I was thinking
you were
more
thinking
aesthetic.
art deco. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like it.
Excellent. So my comparison
Okay.
is going to be better than yours. This is a good one.
Obviously, because it always is. But carry on.
No. It is
Even when
Girl
it's my
Goddess.
go at having a comic, like you would still do a better comparison. So like, go on.
You knew it was coming. Mine
I did
is
know it was
Girl
coming,
Goddess
shit.
Queen, which is another Hades and Persephone retelling.
Ah, okay.
It's
I
good.
could have gone.
Can you
It's
tell I
good.
like this myth?
Yeah, I can't even go chaos because the Persephone Hades myth in that is like black and white underworld. It doesn't look like that, so it has no. I mean, apart from the characters, it has no vibe of it. So
No, because you have Hades Town, but in that it's, I mean, Hades and Persephone, it's not really a love story about them versus this and Girl Goddess Queen. It's a much kinder love story, romance.
hmm,
Have you seen Hades Town?
no.
Have you engaged in any Greek myth other than chaos?
Am I engaged in any Greek myth apart from chaos? Yeah, I've read like mythos and I've read other things surrounding it. I didn't get into it as much as I didn't hit that high. Do you know what I mean? Like it was a high a few years ago, where probably when this came out, but like it seemed to be a lot around it. I read Ariadne, and that was good, and I read another one of her work. But yeah, you were going to say something.
I think it was because when I was quite young, Percy Jackson and the Olympians came out. And now myself and all my fellows who grew up reading those books now have a disposable income.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
just
yeah.
starting to they're in the workforce, they can purchase things. And then also you had the Disney TV show of that come out, which
Which
was
was very good. I watched the first episode of it. Only the first
Yeah.
one for some strange reason, but the first step was good.
Yeah, no, the series was quite good. The movie they made a while back was terrible. And so this was, I think everyone who was into that was very excited about that redemption. And so like a lot of the books that were gaining popularity in, as you said, the revival a few years back were not always knew, like Achilles, I think was a decade old, but people were rediscovering that Greek myth, getting into that again. And it's still around. But
So
I don't know if it's as strong as it was like 2
a
years
few
ago.
years ago.
Would you mind terribly
Yep.
to do the exit tro?
Oh, I can do the exit tro or outro or whatever.
The outro, sorry. Was saying exit tro as a joke, but I fear it's now sticking.
I like the exit tro. Especially if it was a joke, it came from it. You have been listening to Ink in the Eyes. Thank you so much for listening. I genuinely think I'm going to go out and buy Lore Olympus and read that. So that's actually a good
I hope you learned something.
recommendation. Enjoy it a lot.
It's a little bit of a slow start, but I do think it's well made.
Yeah, I can go for a slow start sometimes. Like I'm not one that needs instant action.
Mm-hmm.
I can deal with that. That's my vibe.
Excellent.
So yes, thank you for listening to Ink in the Eyes, and we'll see you soon.